there, we have to talk about planned subway work here in Queens for this weekend, starting most scenarios tonight and lasting until Monday morning. First up on the agenda, we got to talk about the M train. We're going to have another weekend without it. Starting tonight, 8:30. That's tonight, April 20th. M train service will be suspended until Monday morning, 23rd. The MTA is going to be doing signal maintenance between Essex Street and Forest Hills 71st Avenue. If you need service to Court Square 23rd Street, please, if possible, use the E line. You can transfer at Queensboro Plaza using the R line, or the F train will be another option if you are coming from, let's say, Forest Hills 71st Avenue as an example. You can transfer at Jackson Heights Roosevelt Avenue, because I know for a fact the next stop after on the F is 21st Street Queensbridge. So you're at Jackson Heights Roosevelt Avenue. You can transfer to the E line from there. Hypothetically, if you got on the wrong train by accident. But again, use the E, or you can use the R at Queensboro Plaza. You have options this weekend to get over to Court Square 23rd Street, which I'm annoyed the MTA doesn't list the alternatives to get over there, but I have to do it. So this is where I bring up the R train. The good news is R trains will be available. So let's say you need to get to Forest Hills, Regal Park, Elmhurst, Woodside, Long Island City, Astoria, even Queensboro Plaza. As I mentioned earlier, our trains are going to be available this weekend. So again, I brought up the point. If you're at Queensboro Plaza and you're expecting M train service to Court Square 23rd Street, the E train is going to be the only train that can get you there this weekend. And I will get into the service changes for the E later on, but Brooklyn, I'm not really going to get into this. I'm going to leave this here. In fact, what I'm going to let you guys do is I'm just going to pull up every point I made. If you're in Brooklyn, I'm going to leave this up for a couple more seconds. So if you're on your computer, if you're on your phone, you can just take a screenshot of this and it'll help you, because I'm not really going to get into it. But I just put this here because I figured for people who are going to take screenshots, you're more than welcome to do that for my videos when it comes to subway plan work, because it makes it a whole lot easier just reading it from a PowerPoint. Is there any work on the 7th? Yes, there will be this weekend for signal modernization, starting at 12:15 a.m. Saturday, April 21st, and lasting until 4:30 a.m. this Monday, April 23rd. So therefore, the following: no trains at all between 34th Street, Hudson Yards, and Queensboro Plaza. So what does that entail? Well, service will be available from Flushing Main Street, and all trains will be terminating at Queensboro Plaza. And again, I'm not going to recommend it fully, but if you are that desperate to not deal with the subway from Flushing, the Q66 is another option. I really wouldn't recommend it, but I'm just saying you do have another option if if you get confused and you want to transfer to a subway. Let's say if you're coming from Flushing Main Street. But if you want to deal with the subways, if you need service into the city, you can use the E, F, N, or W trains. So again, you do have options, and I always put the subway map in the description. So if you have a specific place you need to go to into the city, if you can transfer using the E, F, N, or W, subway map will be in the description below. I recommend downloading the Google Drive app on iOS and Android. If you can also download Adobe Reader. If you're on iOS, I can recommend trying to look for another app that can read PDF files, but there are apps that can help you. So I recommend to everybody keep the subway map on your phone because it will definitely help you this weekend. So you can transfer to the E, F, or R train at Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. E, F, and R trains will be available there. N or W trains. You can transfer at Queensboro Plaza for service into the city using the N or the W train over there at Queensboro Plaza. I would say the Q train, but remember, the Q train got shifted to the 2nd Avenue line in Manhattan. So I feel bad for people in Astoria when they lost the Q train. Free shuttle buses are going to be running along 2 routes between Hudson Yards and Times Square. Now, let's say you want to get to Bryant Park as an example. At Times Square, the best thing I can recommend you do, same at Grand Central, is walk. If you don't want to walk, M42 bus is also another option. Also, between Queensboro Plaza and Vernon Boulevard, Jackson Avenue. So, again, at least they're providing service, but they're not going to be providing service to Court Square 23rd Street. And this is why I bring up the point about Court Square 23rd Street. If you need service over there, again, let's say you're going to be using the 7. Transfer Jackson Heights, Roosevelt Avenue for a World Trade Center bound E train. Take that and go to Court Square 23rd Street. That's how you can get over there. 42nd Street shuttle is actually going to be running 24 hours this weekend to help accommodate getting people between Grand Central Station and Times Square. So the MTA knew to plan ahead, and thank goodness they did, because a lot of people, who usually rely on the 7 overnight to get to Grand Central from Times Square, well, guess what? They're going to have the option this weekend to use the shuttle. Especially helps people if they want to transfer over, to Metro North or the Long Island Railroad this weekend. So that definitely helps. Now we're going to talk about the E train. I should have put a correct thing over there. I apologize for that. But yes, we are going to talk about the E train. I remember typing this up. 9:45 tonight until 5 a.m. Monday morning. World Trade Center bound E trains are rerouted via the F after 5th Avenue, 53rd Street to West 4th Street, Washington Square due to electrical improvements. To and from 7th Avenue, you can take the D train and you can transfer at 47 50th Street to E stops along, to and from 7th, take the D, right, my bad. So if you're at 7th Avenue, 53rd Street. My apologies. I'm going to say it correctly here. If you're over at 7th Avenue, 53rd Street, you can take the D via the transfer at 47 50th Street if you're on the F. So that's an option. If you're confused again, I'm sorry about that. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that the E is going to be running along the 6th Avenue line. All right, so basically what this means is the E will be on the F track. So what they're trying to tell you is you're going to have to transfer at 47 50th Street, Rockefeller Center. Then take the D. Then go to 7th Avenue, 53rd Street. As an example, to that station, 7th Avenue, 53rd Street. Now, if you need to get uptown at all, or along 8th Avenue, unfortunately, what I'm going to have to say here is go to West 4th Street and transfer to an uptown AC or E train. From these stations, the best bet I can say, and I typed this up correctly, take the A or the C instead. All right, so now we figured it out correctly. I made sure, because I know I gave the right information now. Reminder, A trains are going to be making local stops overnight when C trains are not running because of the whole controversy with the station rehab projects along the Upper West Side, which we're not really going to get into in this video. I want to quickly mention 9:45 p.m. tonight till 5 a.m. Monday morning. Manhattan-bound E trains are going to be skipping Briarwood and 75th Avenue due to signal modernization. Oh, see, now that came up. I really got to figure out how to use this version of Word correctly. There we go. Now it came up the right way. Plan work for the F train. 9:45 p.m. tonight. This is for Brooklyn. So if you want to read this, you can. Good news is no F service is going to be impacted that much in Queens this weekend. So there will be shuttle buses available in Brooklyn at least. So if you need to take that note, again, you can always take a screenshot. I'm going to keep this for a couple more seconds here. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just counting the numbers so that way you have time to take a screenshot. 9:45 p.m. Friday morning. Sorry, 9:45 p.m. tonight. Excuse me. Again, I'm going as fast as I can because I know I have a lot to get into. 9:45 p.m. tonight until 5 a.m. Monday morning, April 20th until the 23rd. Uptown F trains are going to be skipping 14th Street and 23rd Street due to signal improvements. So if you need to get to those stations, you can take a downtown train from Herald Square, 34th Street, and then you can just go to where you need to be to those stations. Also, here in Queens, we got a problem. Same with the second point I made. Let me show you guys over here. This point over here. Same thing over here. Manhattan-bound F trains are going to be skipping 169th Street, Suffern Boulevard, Briarwood, and 75th Avenue due to signal modernization. So this is only for Manhattan-bound trains. So what does this technically mean? Well, you're going to have to end up taking the Q60, unfortunately. I know it doesn't sound like the best option, but for this scenario, that's the best thing I can do. And if you're at Suffern Boulevard, the best thing I can recommend you do is just walk to Hillside and Queens Boulevard, get Q60, and then do it that way. Jamaica-bound F trains are going to be running local from Roosevelt Avenue to 71st Avenue due to signal modernization. That's some good news this weekend. Yeah, so you don't want to deal with any headaches this weekend. For access to Briarwood, 75th Avenue, and Suffern Boulevard, F train Q60 is an alternative if you're that desperate. I know if you don't want to deal with it, this is the best option I can give. Just in case if they change their minds. You never know with the MTA. They can always trick up their sleeves. For access to 169th Street and Hillside Avenue at Suffern and Archer, if you're going to be using the E train, you can get off at that station and transfer for Q30, Q31 buses. You can use the E train, get off at Suffern Boulevard, Archer Avenue subway station. Or, if you're going to be using the F train, you can go to the last stop at Jamaica 179th Street and transfer to the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q17, Q36, Q76, or Q77. It will take you down 10 blocks on Hillside Avenue and you can go that way. But however, for St. John students and staff, please, if possible, if you don't want to deal with any headaches, best bet is to just go to Kew Gardens Union Turnpike and use the Q46 bus. I know it sounds chaotic, but again, let's just say, for some weird reason, they decided to screw up service to Jamaica last minute. You know the MTA, they could pull up a trick up their sleeves. I'm only leaving this here just in case because I'm very weary and I'm always skeptical. So that's why I made this slide over here. And last but not least, W trains will have extra service this weekend. Special weekend W service will run between Whitehall Street, South Ferry, and Astoria Ditmars Boulevard from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow, April 21st, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday, April 22nd, to help accommodate people going into the city when people are going to be transferring from the 7 going into the city at Queensboro Plaza. Now, we have one last thing we have to talk about. Same timeline, Manhattan-bound W trains are going to be skipping Broadway and 39th Avenue due to station enhancements. So that's it. That's all I have for now. If any more weekend projects come up, I will talk about that. Usually lately, it's a whole lot easier to keep an eye on the railroad and the subways lately thanks to the email notification system. And honestly, I like doing it using PowerPoint. It helps solidify it, and if I need to keep this same PowerPoint, I can edit it. I can review it and edit it. So, yeah. Good luck if you're going to be using the subways this weekend. If you're going to be using the Long Island Railroad this weekend as well, good luck with that too. I'll put the link in the description below for yesterday's video because I also talked about my my chaotic filming of the Q46 yesterday at Long Island Jewish. So, thank you for watching. And again, good luck with the railroad, Long Island Railroad this weekend, and good luck with the subways if you're going to be using them. You thankfully now have been informed, and until next time, take care.